God damn.
What's up, sexy YouTubers? Cool Hand Snook here, and I will just be commentating over the 17-4 Search and Destroy knife-only gameplay. And I'd like to thank Sickest COD Videos for submitting this gameplay, as well as Hunter's a Loser for capturing the gameplay. So, I was asked to do a scary story where, like, something paranormal happened. And I don't really have any stories like that. I mean, when I was growing up, yeah, my grandfather's house was considered kind of haunted or whatever. But it wasn't really scary, you know? It was like you'd hear footsteps in the hallway and you knew nobody was home or something like that. But, I mean, when you grow up kind of hearing that kind of stuff and knowing that kind of stuff is going on in your house, it's really not that big of a deal. On the other hand, I do have scary stories. I have a couple, and I was really not sure which one to tell. I decided to go with the time that my friend's mom came on to me. And that may not sound like a scary thing to most of you, but you have to understand this. She was 30 and I was 12. And it was terrifying because also she was big, fat, and ugly like Bowser from Mario. That's what she looked like. She actually looked like Bowser. So when I say that, a lot of times people will think, why didn't you just take advantage of the situation and sleep with a MILF for the first time? Well, she wasn't a MILF by any means. She was not a MILF. And so basically this is kind of the setting here. I was 12 years old, and I was just really into gaming already. By that time, I just was not, you could not get me off the video game. My mom would tell me to clean my room, and I'd just get, like, mad, and I'd start throwing stuff around. I was a brat, dude. Like, I was, like, so obsessed with them. So I found a friend that was a lot like that. I used to spend the night at his house pretty much every weekend. It got to the point where my mom hated them because you know how my mom was so controlling and everything. I mean, I've mentioned it before. Well, she hated the fact that I was always over there because she knew that my friend's mom was not as strict as she was. She would let us stay up till like 3 in the morning and eat nothing but junk food and all that stuff. So we would have a lot of fun over there. But the thing was things started getting weird over time because it got to the point where my friend's mom started inviting me over to the house when my friend wasn't around. She'd be like, hey, you want to come and play games? And we would actually, because she would play games with us a lot of times. So me and her would sit down in the living room and just play video games at times when nobody was around. It was just me and her. We would just be chilling, playing games. So I thought that was kind of weird because I had never like hung out with my friend's mom before, you know? Especially as a kid. It's just kind of like, what? Why does this grown woman want to hang out with me for? So anyway, we would hang out, and it got to the point where in the middle of the night, if me and my friend went to bed early enough, she would wake me up and she would have me go into the living room with her and she would talk. You know, she'd pour herself a drink, she'd pour me a drink of the same thing, which was pretty dysfunctional. It's pretty weird. You know, she's 30, I'm 12, and she's pouring me alcoholic beverages. And we would sit there and we would drink together and we would just talk. So I started drinking when I was 12 because of this. We would sit there and drink Johnny Walker Red Brand, which is, I think it's a scotch. I think it's a scotch. I don't know. I don't drink it anymore because I can't. I can't drink it anymore because every time I see the bottle even, I just remember this chick and it like gives me the chills, you know? I'm like, oh, that's so gross. Things start getting a little bit weird, and my friend starts noticing it because I'm allowed to pretty much do more things than her kids are allowed to do in the house. Like, it was so odd, you know? She wasn't married. She was a single mom, and so she kind of made me like the man of the house, even though I was the same age. So I would go over to the house, and because my friend had a sister, and she was I think she was a year younger than me or something like that. If she got on my nerves, I would like tell her to shut up, or I'd like send her to her room, and her mom would actually be like, yeah, well, you know, you got to do what he says. And she'd be like, are you serious, Mom? Are you serious? And she'd be like, yeah, you know, do what he says. Go to your room. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh, my God, I can go here and, like, be the king of the castle, you know? And, like, it kind of warped my thinking at the time because I was just like, this is my domain, you know what I mean? I can go here and I can bully my friend's sister. I mean, at the time, it was really cool, but looking back on it, I just get creeped out. It's like, God, you know, this is so wrong, you know? I made sure me and my friend went to bed a little bit earlier one night. And so I'm laying there waiting for the call because basically that's what happened. I'd lay there and I would just wait, and maybe 10 minutes later, after my friend would start snoring, his mom would come into the room and kind of tug on my shirt and be like, come on, let's go. So that's what she did. She came into the room, she tugged on my shirt, she said, let's go into the living room. So I go in there, and it's the usual. You know, she pours me a drink, she pours herself a drink, we're sitting there talking. And maybe an hour passes by or something like that, and we're just kind of like laughing and stuff, getting a little bit drunk. I'm drunk, you know? I mean, like, I'm 12, you know? I'm a little guy already. I was not, like, handling my liquor like a champ back then. I was already drunk by then. But she was starting to get buzzed and all that stuff. And when she started to get buzzed, she'd stand up and tell these really elaborate stories and be dancing around and everything like that and laughing. She leans in at one point, and she, like, puts her hand on my leg. And she's, like, kind of, like, talking in my face, like, kind of laughing and stuff. And I figure, you know, she's buzzed. You know, she doesn't even know what she's doing. Well, she stops talking, and she's just got her hand on my leg still. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, you can let go of my leg now. Well, she starts, like, rubbing it and kind of getting close to my crotch. And I'm just thinking, oh, wait, what? And so I really have no idea that this can't really be happening in my mind. I'm thinking, this isn't happening. There's no way this is happening right now. But no, she's like she's sliding her hand up my leg, and it's like going up at my crotch. And she's like kind of like hovering right over my wang. And I was just like, ooh, wow. So I'm thinking, okay, this chick wants the D, right? And I considered it. I really did. I was like, you know what? She's ugly. She's fat. But who can say that their first time was with their friend's mom? Who can say that? It's almost like an opportunity I did not want to pass up. But I kept looking at her, and I'm like, but can I live with this being my first? This. Look at this. This is awful. I don't know, man. So I was thinking about it, and oh, man, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was like, I got to use the bathroom. And so I get up, and she, like, sits down in the chair. She's like, okay, hurry back. Well, I run out the back door of the house. I just get the hell out of there. And I run around the corner to a park. And it's pretty cold that night. And I'm wearing, like, shorts and a T-shirt. But I'm thinking, dude, I can't stay in there or I'm going to get raped. She's going to rape me. She's going to, like, have sex with me or something, and I'm not going to want it. Or she's going to, like, pull out a strap-on and, like, bone me or something if I resist. I don't know. I was scared as hell. I go to the park, and I get in a tunnel slide, and I'm just like, it was kind of warm in there. It was warmer than, you know, the grass. And so I slept in the tunnel slide that night. I went to sleep in the tunnel slide, and it was awful. And after that, I still hung out at that house. I did. And, yeah, that's the story, man. So if you laughed at my misfortune, that's completely fine. Just please leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.